When you think of LMGs, you probably just think of one slow, heavy playstyle. But the truth is, the LMG category right now is more diverse than ever. We have heavy AR hybrids, high-speed spammers, and 3-shot monsters all competing for the top spots. Today we're ranking every single LMG to find out what is actually meta. Here's the tier list we'll be using. Let's start with the Bruin MK9. This is easily one of the most underrated LMGs in the game, at least in my opinion. That's because you shouldn't think of this as a true LMG, but more as a heavy assault rifle. When you look at its damage, it has a 30-meter consistent 4-shot kill and a 55-meter potential 4-shot kill, both at 240 milliseconds. This gun can really wipe the floor with meta ARs like the XM4 and Type 19 at mid to long range. Now, its mobility is just average for an LMG, and the magazine is on the shorter side at 60 bullets with a 1.6 second reload. As for accuracy, I'm going to say this once for the whole video. All LMGs are accurate unless I specifically say they're not, as this only affects 4 weapons. So yes, the Bruin is a laser. On top of that, it has a massive 1.4 bullet impact, which throws your enemy's aim off easily. Because it's a fantastic heavy AR but not quite a meta-defining LMG, the Bruin lands solidly in B tier. Next up is the Chopper. This one is a bit weird for me because on one hand, I really like using it, but on the other, the stats are just not there. Its damage is weak, only 23 meters for a 4-shot kill, and while the 5-shot kill extends to 54 meters, it's just not enough. The mobility is a bit slow, the movement speeds are average, but the ADS time is way too slow at 490 milliseconds. Even the magazine isn't great, with 100 bullets offset by a long 3.4 second reload. Now, its handling is really good, and its accuracy is terrible unless you're hip firing, where it's incredibly accurate for a full auto weapon. But as much as I like the feel of this gun, it just ain't that good. The Chopper lands in D tier. Next on the list is the Dingo, which is a very weird gun. When you look at its stats, it should be a monster. The damage is good, but it has a 232 millisecond time to kill. The mobility is the best in the entire LMG category, with a 303 millisecond ADS time, 6.1 meters per second sprint speed, and 3.15 meters per second strafe speed. The magazine is okay, with 80 bullets and a 1.8 second reload, and the handling is great, with one of the cleanest iron sights in the game. So why is this gun not S tier? Because its accuracy is awful. It has less bullet spread accuracy than the USS-9, for example. All those amazing stats mean nothing if your shots don't hit the target. That one flaw makes it unusable, which puts the Dingo in D tier. Next on the list is the Hades. At one point, this gun was one buff away from being a top tier monster. Now, it's completely fallen off and just doesn't work. On paper, the stats look decent. You get a 38 meter 4-shot kill and an infinite 5-shot kill, but the gun just misses out everywhere else. Its mobility is average. The magazine is on the short side with only 65 bullets and a 2.48 second reload. The handling isn't great because of that big iron sight, and its accuracy isn't OP either. It's a gun that simply fails to shine in any single category. It's C tier, mainly because it's closer to being usable than the D tier guns we just covered. Next up is the Holger 26. This gun is a massive mix of good and terrible in the same weapon. Let's just go down the list. Its 4-shot kill range is short as hell at only 24 meters, but its 5-shot kill range extends out to 50 meters. It has a painfully slow half a second ADS time, but it has an incredibly fast 3.3 meters per second strafe speed. It has a great magazine with 110 bullets and a quick sub 2 second reload, but it has one of the worst bullet spreads in the entire LMG category. And on top of all that, the general handling is goated. This gun is a complete headache. It's the definition of an average, confusing weapon, and it lands right in C tier. So as we're seeing, mastering LMGs is all about controlling their flaws, like the Holger's bad BSA that makes long-range fights way harder. But here's the problem. It is impossible to compensate for a gun's bad recoil or BSA if you're also fighting your connection. You can't fight the gun and the lag at the same time. That's why I use Exit Lag Mobile. It removes the lag variable so I can focus 100% of my skill on controlling the gun. With just one tap, it stops those random lag spikes and makes your connection over twice as stable. It provides a clean, stable foundation, so when I miss a shot, I know it was my aim, not my network. It works by finding a more stable route for your connection, and it's just not for COD Mobile. It optimizes your connection for over 800 mobile games and apps. If you're tired of fighting your lag and your gun, try Exit Lag Mobile for free for 3 days using my link or the QR code on screen. Use my code KIT for over 15% off a subscription. And huge thank you to Exit Lag Mobile for sponsoring this tier list. Now we have the M4 LMG. And this is probably the one you expected to be the worst on the list. That wouldn't be a bad guess. On paper, 35 meters of 4-shot kill range sounds decent, but its time to kill is an incredibly slow 285 milliseconds, which makes it feel like it takes years to get a kill. Its mobility is the third worst in the category. You're looking at over a half a second ADS time, and the strafe speed under 2 meters per second. Now, its magazine is good at 100 bullets with a 2-second reload, and it is deadly accurate. But that accuracy doesn't matter when the gun is this slow and this awful to play with. This is an easy F tier. Next up is the MG42, and in my opinion, this is the best LMG for rank play right now. It starts off with a strong base, a 16-meter 4-shot kill, and a 38-meter 5-shot kill. But what truly sets it apart from almost every other LMG is its incredibly fast fire rate, which makes the gun feel unbelievably consistent. Pair that consistency with above average mobility and incredible handling and accuracy, and you've got yourself the best gun imaginable. Thankfully, the devs decided to strike it down just a little by giving it a massive reload time of around 5 seconds. But even with that huge drawback, it's still the best LMG for ranked. The MG42 is S tier. Next up is the MG82, the other fast-firing LMG on the list. Unfortunately for the MG82, it's basically just a lazy copy of the MG42. Its damage profile is a step down with a 28-meter 5-shot kill and a 40-meter 6-shot kill. The mobility is overall the same as the MG42. Its strafe speed is slightly faster, but its ADS time is slightly slower. The magazine stats are also similar with 125 bullets and a reload time around 4 seconds. But the biggest difference is the accuracy. While the MG42 is a laser, the MG82 is just a little less accurate. The handling isn't perfect either. Overall, it's a great gun, but it's just completely overshadowed by the MG42. For being a slightly worse version of an S tier weapon, the MG82 lands in A tier. Next up, we have the PKM. Now, this isn't necessarily the best LMG for a solo ranked grind, but it is the most efficient LMG you can possibly use in a 5-man team context. When used in a precise strategy, this gun is deadly. Let's just get this out of the way right now. The mobility is terrible, but that's the trade-off. Aside from that, its stats are absurd. You get a 32-meter 3-tap, which is a fast 190 millisecond time to kill. You get 200 bullets in the magazine. And the handling is really good. That might not seem like much to worry about, but let's be clear. A 200 round magazine where every single bullet can delete 1/3 of your health is, quite frankly, crazy. For its massive and undeniable impact on the competitive scene, the PKM is S tier. Next, we have the LMG, which is essentially the little brother of the PKM. To make it short, it's almost the same gun, except for a few key details. Here's the trade-off. Instead of a 32-meter 3-tap, the RAL has a 45-meter 3-tap range. The cost for that extra range is a slightly slower time to kill at 210 milliseconds instead of the PKM's 190. The other difference is the magazine. You get 100 bullets instead of 200. For being a bit slower on the time to kill and having a smaller magazine compared to its S tier sibling, the LMG lands in A tier. Next on the list is the RPD, and on paper, its stats are pretty standard. You get a 35-meter 4-shot kill and a 77-meter 5-shot kill. That's good, but nothing crazy. Its mobility is a bit slow. It's not as slow as a PKM, but it's barely 10% faster. And handling, of course, is incredible. So it seems like a standard average LMG. But the RPD has one thing that makes it OP, the fact that you never have to reload. Now, you can't spam bullets forever without overheating, but you technically never have to sit through a reload animation. That single mechanic makes this gun incredible to use, especially in long drawn-out fights. For that unique and powerful trait, the RPD lands in B tier. Next is the S36, and as a quick side note, this gun is incredibly fun in BR. Not necessarily the best, but fun. In multiplayer, the S36 carries an incredible range with a 54-meter 4-shot kill at a 240 millisecond time to kill. Its mobility is average for an LMG. The magazine is great with 110 bullets and a fast 2-second reload time. But its best feature is the handling. It's top-notch, and the whole gun just feels like an LK-24, an easy-to-use, long-range laser beam. It doesn't necessarily outshine any of the top meta weapons, which is what keeps it from a higher tier. But it's still a great off-meta LMG pick. The S36 lands in B tier. And for our final LMG, let's talk about the UL736. This gun was one of the most dominant and long-range weapons in competitive play back in 2023. On paper, the stats still seem to work. It's incredibly accurate and stable. Its mobility is slow, but that's fine for a long-range anchor. The magazine is a little short, with 60 bullets and a 1.8 second reload time, but it's manageable. But here is the part everyone forgets, and it's the gun's fatal flaw. A long-range weapon has to kill fast. The UL736's stats are a trap. It claims to have a potential 3-shot kill out to 41 meters, but this is wildly inconsistent as it requires you to land 3 out of 3 shots on the chest or arms. So for us, and not for pro players, the UL is really just a 58-meter 4-shot kill gun, which gives it a 273 millisecond time to kill. That's decent, but as we've already established, the LK-24 does the exact same job, only better. It's not a truly awful pick, but it just can't shine in today's meta with so little real 3-tap potential. The UL736 lands in C tier. And that's the definitive breakdown for every LMG. You now know what to use for holding down long-range fights. But what about dominating in close quarters? For that, you need a different class of weapon.